A controversial plan causing concerns, but later called off. Yet the future of the Alazan courts is still uncertain.
I go back to the streets. It won't bother me none. It just bothers the city.
I know because they were saying they were supposed to relocate us, but I knew it wasn't going to happen.
There was a plan to upgrade Los Courts, as they're known to many in this West Side community. They were the first public housing units built in San Antonio.
So it's got this amazing history. And I knew about it because, again, I grew up in this neighborhood.
The cinder block units built in the 1940s. The upgrades since then include a small AC unit installed on windows for the summer and winter months.
And that little air conditioner right there got the heater, but it don't warm up like it should have.
And internet access is a challenge. The need is clear, so it was back to the drawing board to create a new plan and a new future for the hundreds of families living here.
And I'm hopeful that the tide is shifting. I hear more people saying that we need to invest in public housing.
But questions about what this new plan will mean, not only for the courts, but this community, remain. A push to demolish and rebuild versus the effort to preserve history.
Our commitment is we're not going to displace any residents.
A property like the Alazan Apache is like a safety net.
There were questions and concerns about funding because that's sometimes what they say is to tear down something and to rebuild is cheaper than to preserve.
1 year later, we return to the courts to dive into what's changed over the past 12 months, what hasn't, and how that's affecting the residents who call the courts home.
KSAT Explains.
KSAT Explains. KSAT Explains.
KSAT Explains. On-demand, in-depth perspective. Perspective on stories we bring you in our newscasts throughout the day. We're looking into concerns over voting safety during the pandemic and the battle over mail-in voting. A look at how the protests and demonstrations have played out in our city and an examination of what it means to be black in San Antonio.
An issue that you have likely felt the effects of, rising property taxes.
The roots of Tejano run deep in South Texas. We examine the cultural impact the music has had in San Antonio.
The Explains team is heading back to the Alazan courts to take a look at where things stand now.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of KSAT Explains. I'm Myra Arthur. A year ago, we dedicated an episode of this show to the fight to preserve a public housing complex in the heart of the West Side. The roots of the Alazan Apache courts run deep. Built between 1939 and 1942, this is now the oldest standing public housing development in the nation. Generations of West Side families have grown up here. The courts have served as a safety net for low-income San Antonians for decades. But for the past few years, the future of the Alazan courts has been uncertain. That complex north of Guadalupe and closer to Lanier High School. Some residents and neighborhood activists concerned with the culture of the West Side were staunchly opposed to tearing down the 501 units of Alazan and putting a mixed income development in its place.
That public housing is part of San Antonio's history, it's part of this West Side history.
Today, some may not be familiar with the historic and cultural legacy of Los Courts, but since the 1940s, this public housing complex has provided shelter and community to many of San Antonio's working poor. Alazan was built at a time when the need for modernization and safe housing in the West Side was great. Residents in this side of town, mostly of Mexican descent, didn't have running water, paved roads, or drainage and sewage systems. The construction of the courts improved living conditions, even for those who didn't live here. And for those who did live here, it instilled in them a major sense of pride.
Because before the Alazan courts, people might have lived in housing that had no plumbing, right? They had to go to the outhouse. So the Alazan courts, that was moving up in the world.
Graciela Sanchez is the director of the Esperanza Peace and Justice Center, one of the most vocal of the organizations questioning proposed plans for the future of the courts. It's no secret that the Alazan courts are in need of upgrades. The cinder block units are small and outdated. They're hard to cool in the summer.
It gets real hot.
And hard to warm in the winter.
Like when it snowed, it was real cold.
It's an issue that caused a serious emergency for resident Ernest Benavides during the February winter storm.
And that's when I had a heart attack and I needed oxygen, and I couldn't plug in nothing because I didn't have no electricity. So I had to call the fire department and bring me oxygen.
It's just not the best environment for individuals to raise their families, and so that's the situation. So we know that it has to be improved.
That's Ed Hinojosa Jr., current president and CEO of the San Antonio Housing Authority, or SAHA. He was serving as the chief financial officer when SAHA announced plans to demolish Alazan, partner with a private company, and replace the complex with a mixed income development.
The original plan called for taking those 250 families and providing vouchers or other housing to them and dispersing them through the city while we rebuilt the location. After rebuilding, we'd give them an opportunity to move back.
But that plan worried residents like Erica Silva. She's been living in Alazan for about 7 years, and in that time, she's built a community here, friends who can help her out with things like childcare when she's in a pinch.
If I can't pick them up or watch them, my friend here or my friend Sarah down the street.
Even though she acknowledges the courts need those upgrades, she didn't like the idea of having to relocate to another part of the city, and she wasn't alone. Some see the demolition of another public housing complex 20 years ago as a cautionary tale.
The Victoria courts, they tore them down, but the people that lived there never came back, right? And it's all middle-class people who now live there.
If the proposed demolition of the Alazan lofts does happen, people will be displaced and pushed further away from their social network.
That's what now City Councilwoman Terry Castillo had to say when we talked to her last year. At the time, she wasn't on the City Council, but she was an organizer and part of the Mi Barrio No Se Vende movement. Spanish for my neighborhood is not for sale.
It's a community organization of vecinos who are organizing on how to keep people in their homes who want to stay. If you want to stay and mitigate displacement, it's a space where folks are organizing on how can we make this happen.
Since we spoke to Castillo, she has become the councilwoman for District 5 on the west side, the district where the Alazan courts are located. She declined our request for an interview for this episode. The SAHA proposal to put a mixed income development in place of the old public housing one is part of a larger trend all across the country. For the past few decades now, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development has been moving in that direction. One reason is to break up higher concentrations of poverty. Another is that mixed income is more financially feasible for housing authorities. With mixed income development, some units are rented out at market rate, while others are rented out at lower rates based on a person's income. The market rate units help make the project profitable.
Public housing has been severely underfunded for more than 2 decades.
At the federal level, there's been this closing of the tap when it comes to funding for housing authorities like SAHA.
But these mixed income developments have been criticized for not creating as much affordable housing as communities need. In the last 12 months, a lot has changed. The idea that involved a public-private partnership was scrapped. Then late last year, the CEO of SAHA stepped down to take a position in Denver with the housing authority there. Adrian Ortega walks us through how those leadership changes, plus the pandemic, changed the proposed future of the Alazan courts.
2021 brought with it new leadership at the San Antonio Housing Authority. Ed Hinojosa.
What the pandemic has done has raised the level of conversation about the need for housing, the need for affordable housing, and the crisis that's been created for people that are especially low income.
In late January, plans for the Alazan Apache courts quickly started to fall apart. The pandemic pushed 300 tenants at the courts to fall behind on rent, meaning federal rules would limit their options for public housing. Instead of leaving them behind, SAHA decided to switch gears.
Because of the pandemic that had been, at that time, already underway for almost a year, there was an extreme shortage of housing in the city, and vouchers, people with vouchers were having trouble locating housing.
With the old plan scrapped, SAHA took over responsibility for managing several parts of the project, including the planning, financing, and construction. In May of 2021, SAHA was still at the drawing board, but had already put a call out for proposals to help with the planning process. By mid-September, SAHA closed in on a master planner for the project, eventually leading to 2 finalists.
We're in the process of hiring a master planner, an architect that will help us talk with the community, talk with the residents, and come up with a plan that is feasible for both the community, the residents, and ourselves.
Well, I was happy to see that both of the entities that are competing have done historic preservation.
Another thing Sanchez and others we talked to are happy about, the direction of Saha under the new CEO.
To have a leader that is more progressive, is more in line with the community, that has been, we've noticed the difference.
I think the change in leadership has been, I will give my honest opinion, a breath of fresh air.
He shares our philosophy, which housing is a human right, and so that has made our work so much easier.
Kayla Miranda has been watching this story unfold in real time. She not only calls the Apache Courts home, she's also teamed up with Esperanza. Together, they are part of the movement pushing to preserve the West Side's history.
We're trying to build up the cultural traditions and the sense of pride for the people from this neighborhood, so that they love that they are West Siders, that they love that they're Mexican or Mexican American.
The center's work, along with the West Side Preservation Alliance, led to Los Courts being named among America's 11 most endangered historic places.
And says, okay, eyes are watching. The nation is paying attention to what's going on there, so do right by the community. And I think that helped us stop the demolition, at least as of right now.
At least for now, because that's still up in the air. Depending on what the project manager decides, the units could still be demolished and rebuilt or upgraded while keeping the historic structure standing.
While some people living at the courts are fighting for preservation, they're also excited at the prospect of upgrades.
I think this place really is good for needs an update. Yeah, if they really do here like more pest control.
Washer dryer hookups. Right now they only have washer hookups. They don't have dryer hookups. It means central air AC. And central heat.
The security. Yeah, because I used to live on Violeta, and then I came over here, and I got broken into.
A lot of residents are very concerned because of the increased rate of gunshots that we're hearing, and needles on the sidewalks and in playgrounds.
Because when I'm cooking, you can hear pop, 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 and they shoot from back there too, a lot to each other. Ta, 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 ta.
We know the project centers around Alazan, not Apache. We also know that a project planner is expected to be announced within days of this episode being released. We also know that the development will be public housing, not mixed income. But beyond that, there were still questions. There is currently no timeline, for example, and where residents will go during construction, that remains unclear. Saha says that it will take its time, however, so as not to force too many residents out all at once. A mixed income development in the area that Saha did move forward with, the Legacy at Alazan, could also provide some space. That complex will have 40 public housing units available when the project is fully complete in March 2022. Another big question that's still out there, how will this project be fully funded? RJ Marquez explains that Saha has some resources, but says it still needs more money.
We may have some vacant land that we're not using that we can sell and use it for that purpose, but that won't be enough. So we'll also be reaching out to the city and working with city officials and with the city council and the mayor's office to try to identify additional funds that can be devoted to Alazan.
In May of this year, San Antonio voters approved Proposition A, which expands the way the city is allowed bond money. With the voters' approval of the charter amendment, housing affordability projects can now be included in the upcoming 2022 to 2027 bond program. The question is, will that funding get to public housing complexes like Alazan?
My biggest, deepest concern is that our city government won't take that route and instead will decide to support private developers.
Hinojosa is also hopeful that more funds can come from the Biden administration and housing infrastructure.
The conversation about the investment has completely changed from a year ago, so there seems to be a commitment to provide funding mechanisms through HUD.
There is a dire need for public housing in general in San Antonio. Thousands of local families are in need of a safety net.
We have almost 50,000 people on our wait list waiting for housing, and we only provide we're only able to provide housing for about 20,000 people at any one time, and 20,000 families.
The reality is that Alasan Apache and so much other public housing across this country needs upgrades, it needs modernization, but Saha can't be expected to do that alone, and we shouldn't have to turn to private developers.
Sofia Lopez is a housing justice organizer based in San Antonio for the Action Center on Race and the Economy. 3 years ago, she researched just how many San Antonio families would qualify for federal housing, and the number back then was staggering.
In 2018, 35% of all San Antonio households made less than $35,000 a year. And of those, very importantly, of those, 73% of those households were Black or Latinx or both.
And the average income for Alasan Apache residents is even lower at just under $9,000 a year.
That's way below that 30% area median income bracket.
Lopez is one of many who want to see the Alasan courts restored and see residents stay in their homes instead of on the streets.
When we have people who are on the precipice of homelessness, or people who are paying more than a third of their income, more than half of their income on housing in this community, we have a problem.
It won't bother me none. It just bothers the city because the city's gonna have another person in the streets living under a bridge.
We'll continue to cover what the future has in store for the historic Alasan courts. Thanks for joining us for this episode of KSAT Explains. I'm Myra Arthur. We'll see you next time.